everybody? It is after work, middle of the week, and it's time to work on the car. Or truck, I guess you could call it. Anyways, we're gonna try and finish, I guess not finish because we never really started, start taking the valve train out, rockers, push rods, valve springs on both sides. Try and get all the head bolts out and get the cylinder heads off today. So this week I can bring them to the shop, pressure wash them, parts clean them, inspect them, make sure everything is good to go, nothing's warped, and it'll be good for some twin turbos, man. I'm excited. Are you excited, Ember? No? No? Okay. Well, I'm pretty hyped up for it. It's coming along real nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started taking these rockers off. Gonna have to pull all the bolts out of here one by one. They should come right off. Push rods will just slide right out, and the valve springs, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a socket, put over the valve spring, beat it with the hammer, and that should compress the spring enough to get those keepers to come out, and the valve spring should come right up. So let's get to it. I'm so spoiled, man. This was one of the best tools I ever bought. Makes life so much easier. Got all the bolts out of the rockers before my dog decided to run away. I'm just gonna pull these off. Oh, okay. I didn't know they were connected. This is the first Ford I have pulled the engine apart. I do work at a Chevrolet dealership, unfortunately, but interesting. Learn something new every day. Just stack all those together. We'll start getting these push rods and valve springs out. Nothing too crazy. Okay. I hope that's not a bad thing. Like, I hope that's just okay. Maybe they aren't supposed to be stuck together. Maybe the sludge. I don't know. I'm gonna hope that that's okay. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna go on a limb and say they're not supposed to be stuck together, and there's just that bracket there that holds them there, I guess. Oh shit. Off to a good start here. This one looks like it came apart. Love it. Love it, baby. All right. Just gonna keep on keeping on, ignore everything bad that happens until we have to put it back together. That's the way to do it. Just keep pulling things apart and act like you don't ever have to put it back together, and that way you don't stress about it. Go ahead and pull all these out real quick. Doesn't look too bad. Definitely gonna hit them with the wire wheel, clean them up a little bit. Nothing too crazy. Quite the handful here. All right, that might have been the hardest part of this job right here, taking those out. Gotta get the oil off your hand, because that just ain't good. All right, so now we'll find a socket that's big enough to go around it just like that. Bop, 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 hit them with the hammer, and it should come. All right, so I had to test out some sockets that would work. The shallows weren't tall enough. I ended up using a 7/8 deep 3/8 drive. Get it right there, tap with the hammer. Compresses that spring enough for those keepers to pop out and get off the valve and get everything off of it. So let's go ahead and bang the rest of these out and get going on the rest of the teardown here. drain pan right next to the engine you're working on, because the socket just went bouncing into this pit of oil, and now I gotta go digging for it. Ooh, okay, yep, there it is. It's just what I wanted to do today. Love it. Love it. So after taking all the valve springs and rockers and push rods out, you can start to see the lifters right here starting to slip out a little bit. Now I wouldn't recommend using the socket hammer method if you want to be a real mechanic. They got a valve spring compressor tool and all this fancy dancy stuff that's really not necessary as long as you got a hammer and some random sockets that you really don't care about. And I mean, look, they're all off. I got most of the parts on there. You know, I may or may not have lost something in the process, but like I said, we'll worry about that when we get there. So now I'm gonna start working on getting this cylinder head off. And yeah, all the spark plugs broke off in the process. Oh, this one's still good. Oh yeah, we're gonna keep that one. While taking it out, I left the manifolds connected to the exhaust, and they were really, really tight on that engine there. Not enough room, and they broke off all these spark plugs, but that's okay. Yeah, we're gonna take these cylinder heads off. Bolt there, bolt there, bolt there, bolt there, bolt there. Boom, 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 boom. And they should come right up. They're gonna be heavy as all hell, but they'll come up. Now that all the head bolts are built loose, you should be able to come in here and loosen them up just like that. All right, easy peasy lemon squeezy. I do have to look up if the head bolts are reusable or not. Like I said, I'm trying to save as much money as possible, considering the turbo kit's double the amount of the price of the truck. So the cheaper we can do this build and the quicker we can have it done, the better life is. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this. It's gonna take both hands to get this heavy son of a bitch off. Now when you're pulling a cylinder head, you always wanna keep a drain pan underneath it as best as possible, because all the coolant, oil, everything that runs through the engine is going to more than likely come out. Getting a little pry bar action underneath it to get it up. Now, because the angles of the engine's already tilted, a lot of the coolant already drained into this valley, so it's sitting right here. So luckily, it's not going to be too big of a mess, but I like to keep it as clean as possible when pulling these. I'm gonna take a look at the pistons. First chance I've had to look at them. There's no real bad scarring on any of the piston surfaces, which is really good, which means there is no debris. Oh, there's a keeper we lost. We'll go ahead and add this to the little box we got there. But no, this is really, really good. Means nothing, no debris, no spark plug, nothing fell down in here and was beating these pistons up, which is what I was really, really hoping for, which means we can definitely reuse these pistons. We'll go ahead and hone these cylinder walls because they definitely could use some love. Re-ring it, and it'll be minty when I'm done.
A few moments later.
Alrighty, we're back at it. I think it's Thursday afternoon. I haven't touched it after I pulled that one side of the cylinder head off. I got the valve springs, rockers, and everything cleaned up at the shop. I gotta go ahead and get this cylinder head off. I didn't bring the tool to get the pulley off because I'm an idiot, but we'll go ahead and get this off and work on getting that off with the tool tomorrow. I guess we could try and flip it over, get the motor mounts off, the oil pan off today, and at least get it stripped down to the block as close as we can. I know we're not gonna be able to get the timing cover off until we get this off here, but we'll get it going here sooner rather than later. I know, it's cool, right? It's pretty awesome. After pulling the other cylinder head off, taking a quick peek at the pistons, these seem to be in pretty good shape, just like the other side. So I definitely, you know, can't complain about it. Just basic surface rust from being open and exposed. We'll get those honed out and everything. I ordered a new camshaft that came with lifters. I also got a double roller timing chain to go with it. The camshaft is a quote-unquote mild stock replacement for turbocharged engines. So figured it'd be a good little replacement. You know, I'm tearing it down, might as well get into it. I'm gonna go ahead and flip the motor over and start working on getting the oil pan out and take a look at the oil pump and see how bad all that's sludged up, and see if I'm gonna have to get a new oil pump or if I can try and clean it up and leave it as is. Well, after taking the oil pan off, there's really not too much I'm concerned with. There's a little bit of sludge here in this pickup, but I mean, it's expected for a vehicle as old as it is, with, I'm assuming, at least 200,000 miles. That'd just be my guess though, but I mean, really can't complain. I'm happy with it. Gonna go ahead and get this pulley off. Gonna have to clean this engine block up one of these days. Trying to figure out how I want to do everything. Like I said, I got the one cylinder head and all the valve train cleaned up at the shop now. To pull the valves out of this here. I got the valves out of the other head. Definitely running a little lean, but we'll get it all cleaned up. We're gonna reuse the valves. We'll lap the valves to the head, make sure everything looks right, clean up all the surface area. Might port the intake and exhaust on the cylinder heads a little bit, make it match the gaskets so we don't have any airflow restrictions. But I really cannot complain with the shape of this engine. I'm super surprised, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a 95, the body's in good shape, but I mean, it looks like the oil was never changed. Every gasket on here has been leaking for God knows how long. But I mean, surprisingly, it's held up well. No crazy damage, which is good for the wallet here. Just gotta keep on chugging along. So just a quick little update on the twin turbo build here. I got both the cylinder heads off. I got the oil pan off. I'm waiting for the special tool to come in to get the this crankshaft pulley off. I don't have a puller in my toolbox, surprisingly. Especially don't have it here. I got the main bearings, rod bearings, and piston rings. I've never heard of this brand. I can't tell you if they're good or not. Hastings is top of the line. I'm definitely happy with that. It's actually fairly cheap. I'm not sure how much, but it was under $100 for this whole kit. So I'm happy with it. Got the valve train cleaned up. I got both the cylinder heads pressure washed. Got the surface cleaned up on them. I'm gonna try and do a video here of me actually building the cylinder heads. I'm gonna reuse the valve springs and reuse the valves. Like I had previously said, I got the new camshaft and timing chain coming. The camshaft did come with the lifters, so I'm not gonna have to worry about taking those out and cleaning those up. I'm still deciding if I wanna replace the oil pump or not. But overall, making good progress on it. I guess I'm gonna try and film an outro this time. So make sure you like, subscribe, and do all that fun YouTube stuff. Isn't that right, buddy? Yeah, look at your smile. I think you gotta like this video just because of the puppy, right? Isn't that right, buddy? Yeah.